Check, check, check. What's happening? You guys can hear me now? Wow. We're experiencing the utmost of technical difficulties today. I just went on a whole monologue and none of y'all can hear me. Yikes. Don't worry, y'all. We back. Couldn't hear me on Instagram tapping Queen. I should be back. Let me know if you can hear me now. My folks on YouTube, let me know. Man, I gotta go back over everything I said then, huh? Nah, we're gonna keep it moving. We're going forward. This segment was about Cristiano being the unequivocal GOAT of scoring. Again, not sure why my mics have cut out, but it is hot in here. I'm probably skipping a little bit, so bear with me. Come in the conversation with me. Just Fez, yeah, now you can hear me. Sorry about that. I had to put on my backup mic because this mic is not happening. Appreciate it. My beautiful voice. Yo, if anybody liked my motivation video that I put out this weekend, it's got a lot of attention. I'm gonna try to be putting out more of those with my narrator voice. We're gonna do more of those. It's hot, man. I'm sweating. I'm going to keep it moving. But yes, Cristiano Ronaldo, 901 goals and counting. Unequivocal, undisputed GOAT goal scorer. Aside from maybe Pele's 1,200 goals, we'll see what that means. And if that's it's in the Guinness Book of Records, but there's not a lot of record keepers that are saying Pele scored over 1,200 goals. They're saying he scored closer to 730 something, which Messi and Ronaldo have surpassed. Just Fez said, "Nice shirt. You got one too." Yeah, man. This is Street FC. If y'all haven't checked them out, check them out. A great app to help you go and find pickup ball wherever you are in a city near you. It's street ball. It's fun. A lot of good players. You know, sometimes you get on these apps and then you go to some of these sweats and the runs are a little weak. And I don't want to say too much about that either because I'm a believer. I play against all levels and it doesn't matter. I'm a believer in you're a baller. You go out. You work on your stuff. It doesn't matter. Unless you're competing to play professionally and whatnot, the ballers around you don't matter. Like you might be helping a young kid who is planning to play professionally be better because he's being able to play with you. So that said, the Street FC ballers, I mean, high level already. So check out the Street FC app. We out here. All right, let's move on. A lot of heat today, a lot of technical difficulties, all that. Another story or another international game I watched this weekend was Brazil. What a good game. Rodrygo scored again. Rodrygo's on a tour. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's actually come out many times and said, man, I'm being overlooked for the Ballon d'Or. He said, you know, stop talking about the big three. It's more than the big three. I'm here too. He's definitely on a, you know, like I'm about to ball and show you tour. It's good because I like that he has that fire. He wants to show people. But at the same time, like, does he need to show people that he's that guy? Like, is anybody not convinced of what Rodrygo can do and bring to a squad? I just think that's real interesting. Like, I don't think he has anything to prove, but he's proven it anyway, and I'm here for it. So, Rodrygo, we hope to see more of this, but man scored a banger. Obviously, it was a little bit of a deflection, but scored for Brazil. Brazil still don't quite look like it. You know, you hear a lot of talk about Vinny Jr., and all that, but seeing this Brazil team with still current stars on the team, but just not performing in the same way you see a Brazilian team usually do, that makes you think a little bit about how good Neymar is. And I've said it, I'll say it again. Neymar is literally like maybe top 2 Brazilian players of all time, and he might not be 2. You know, it's honestly between Pele and Neymar at this point to me. Neymar has nothing else to prove. He's on his way back from his ACL injury. We're going to see. There was a guy, I'm gonna post this. There's a guy on Instagram. He's a physical therapist. He came out saying that he thinks Neymar is recovery is disastrous. And we're going to see a bigger injury coming from him. We're going to see. I don't know. Every time we've seen Neymar, and he's had a lot of injuries over his career, every time I see Neymar come back, he comes back and is the same player, if not better. I've seen it over these years. Now, obviously, he's into his 30s. We can see how he recovers, but, he's on that fire team in Al Hilal. So hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of him, and he'll make his return to the Seleção, the Brazilian national team, at some point. Rodrygo, on the other hand, keep doing your thing. Neymar even has come out multiple times in support of the man, so we already know what Rodrygo can do. It's no surprise. What else we got today? Norway. Norway took a L to Denmark, as you can see here. Holland did score. He scored in the 77th minute of this game, but Norway's not enough. Martin Odegaard and Holland played. At this point, should Norway be doing more? Obviously, what's up, Choppa Theo? Choppa Theo tapping in on YouTube. I think that it's really tough to, Holland gets compared to Mbappe a lot. And maybe fairly in some cases, but unfairly in others. I don't think there's any comparison. I'm an Mbappe stan, though, so it might be a little different for me. But my point of saying this is, should Holland be doing more for his country? I mean, he's scoring 4 goals, 3 goals, hat tricks galore for City. Should this somehow translate into some more production for Norway? Like, Norway have players. Obviously, the only ones I can name are Odegaard and Holland, but that's more than I can name on Wales, and I see Wales in these international competitions often, right? That's not true. I can name more players on Wales, but when Gareth Bale was the man on Wales, he's the man on Wales. Scott McTominay is the man on Scotland. He's the man. Like, obviously, Scotland couldn't do enough this time around, but against Cristiano's team, but they, again, they're doing it. So what is the problem with Norway? We'll see. They play again today, so let's see if anything more comes out of it. But this conversation, this Holland conversation, brings me to my hot take of the day. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before my computer's overheating here. Tell me this, y'all. Pep Guardiola, obviously Holland's coach. Does Pep hinder great players? I got in a conversation. I've been in a group chat. Andy Robertson. Yeah, there you go, for Wales, just Fez. But tell me about this, Pep. Does Pep hinder? So I ended up getting in this argument, not argument, but we love footy debates. Everybody's got a group chat full of footy debates, and the question really was like, how much Pep makes players better. And, I kind of had to stop and think about that because, no doubt Pep definitely develops players. You look at the likes of, Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, all those guys. You can even look over to Barcelona and the academy players he's broadened out of there. Obviously he contributed to the kind of La Masia and tiki-taka DNA that Spain kind of has in their country right now. So he's definitely a developer. That's not the argument. I think the argument for me is, I think, this is my hot take, and y'all let me know. I think Pep makes great players look good, and he makes good players look great. Like, he almost holds back great players. Now, before we go further, let me give you like my triangle, my pyramid. I think there's a good player, and a good player is like a good player in the league, like a starter on a good team in one of the top 5 leagues, right? Like, a good player is Raheem Sterling, right? A great player is somebody like who I would describe as Holland, honestly. I think Holland is a great player, to be honest. I think I'm trying to give you another example of a great player. But anyway, yeah, great players. And then there's world-class players, right? World-class players are players, in my opinion, they're more rare than what people think. I think world-class players can kind of come into any team and be able to put their imprint on it and just be themselves. I think when I think about it, Kevin De Bruyne is a world-class player. Like by the time he got to City, he had already had his own confidence. Obviously, Pep helped increase that confidence and increase all of his stats and his trophies. But I think mentally and physically, De Bruyne was already there. He had already had a tough spell in the Prem at Chelsea, then went back to Germany, and then became kind of that next level, right? Haaland is still great. I don't think Haaland is world class yet, right? And I think the reason he's great is the same reason he's being held back with Pep. It looks great under City, right? Like, it looks great under City. He doesn't need to touch the ball. He's scoring hat tricks all the way. But I still think that Pep's system can hold back great players who can actually just affect the game just being themselves by playing free. Let's see what y'all have to say about that. Just Fez said, nope, doesn't hold back great players. He develops technical ballers. La Masia was inspired by his teachings. Factual. That's why people always underrate KDB and Bernardo. Yeah, Bernardo is an interesting one because I think I don't know where Bernardo fits. If I'm trying to make what I'm saying makes sense, that would have to mean that Bernardo is a good player, which when you see Bernardo play for Portugal, he looks like a good player, a player who should start, who plays well, but is he a great player? Is he, top 3 players on the Portuguese team? No, you know what I mean? And so under Pep, he looks like a great player, right? Just like Phil Foden does. But when they go and play for their countries, they look pretty normal, like average. So it makes me wonder. What's up, Camino? Just tapping in. My Chelsea brethren. Yo, Camino, I'm talking about Pep right now, and we're trying to see. I'm trying to get some understanding of if this is a wild take or not. But in my opinion, Pep Guardiola and his style holds back great players. Players who, in any other situation, can run to a team and play free and be the best player on the pitch. And I'm talking about players like Alexis Sanchez, which I didn't know he was a great player until he got to Arsenal and then became a great player. He was always a baller for Chile, but yeah, I mean, you remember Chile, the team that won 3 finals in a row in Copa America against Argentina? Yeah, that was Alexis Sanchez's squad, right? They had Vargas and some other guys too, but you know what I mean? So I guess I'm not convinced. Again, world-class players can fit, they'll do whatever. But when I go down the line of players who don't like Pep, they're typically great players. The Eto'os, Zlatan doesn't like Pep, even though Zlatan did well. Zlatan's so world-class that he did well. He scored 20 goals for Barcelona in that season anyway. But still, he even has said that, he doesn't like this system Pep plays in. He's holding me back. Like, those super ballers who play free and don't need a lot of direction, the type of ballers who would be so prolific under a Carlo Ancelotti, can they play under Pep? Now, obviously, we see that Haaland can play under Pep. He can play in Pep's system. It works. But in the long run, does this hinder Haaland's performance? That's my take. I think Pep is hindering Haaland. Again, Norway played today. Come see how Haaland plays with his country versus how he plays with Pep. It's a lot different. Just as said, Pep elevated Yaya. Pep did not elevate Yaya, bro. Yaya's been that guy. Yaya is another player I think is world class. As a matter of fact, Pep put Yaya at the 6th position at Barcelona, right? And then Yaya got to Man City, and we realized how much of a number 10 he was. Just how much. Maybe he wasn't the best number 10 in Barcelona. I can say that, right? But Yaya was so good that Pep had to put him on the field. So did Pep elevate Yaya, or was Yaya so good he was like, hey, shit, I'm like, if I can't play 10 because Messi's playing the 10, put me in 6. I'm that good. That's how I feel about Pep and Yaya. Busquets, I agree with you. I do think Pep elevated Busquets. I think Busquets, again, those players like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, you know what I mean? Like, they came from La Masia. Again, Pep definitely has his fingerprints in La Masia, but La Masia been La Masia, right? Like, Johan Cruyff developed La Masia. You know what I mean? Like, Rijkaard even helped develop La Masia. Like, they've had this DNA of technical football well before Pep. You know what I mean? So, to that point, I wonder about that too. Colo Lifestyle says, Pep wants to completely eliminate randomness from the game. I agree with that. Yeah, Pep wants to put everything in control. That's the beauty of football, though. Like, it is random. And that's why I don't think Pep is that good at tournament football. Like, I wonder if Pep were to go coach a national team, like a Norway. If Pep were to go coach a Norway, or if Pep were to come here to the States, would we be immediately better in national tournaments? I wonder. I think Pep is better suited for, that season ball, like long, arduous seasons where he has enough players and they all play the same system and they can get results because, again, he eliminates randomness, like Colo Lifestyle said. I agree with that, bro. Colo Lifestyle says, but the game is at its most entertaining when players are able to express themselves fully. And I agree wholeheartedly with that. I'm all about, play free football. Now, if a team just has less ability, that's a different thing. And I love managers who can tactically get the best out of their players. Like a Jose Mourinho. Again, Pep gets the best out of his players too, but it's been it's been difficult, especially when you're in group chats arguing with your boys, right? Like, you think about Pep, and he's only had the best talent in the world. We've never seen Pep have to coach an Everton, have to coach a Porto, we've never seen that. So I do think Pep gets the best out of great players, but only in his system. And it makes me wonder, like, we saw Phil Foden over the summer. Like, how good is Phil Foden? I think if anything, Phil Foden needs to kind of get like Rodrygo and put that chip on his shoulder for this season, because I think he has something to prove. PFA Player of the Year, and then to have zero impact in the Euros, like absolutely zero. Like, it's going to be tough. But again, it works in Pep's system. So it's just something. A good hot topic, a good hot take. Y'all let me know when this gets recorded and thrown up on YouTube. I hope folks watch this back and participate in a healthy debate in the comments. That's what we did. Just Fez, Pep did hinder Sane. I agree. Facts, right? Like, facts. Sane was supposed to be an absolute world player. And though I would never put Sane at world class, and he's really towing the line between great. He's done well for himself at Bayern, and I do think his development, I think Leroy Sane, hot take, would be in a completely different position in the world game had he not gone to City under Pep. Had he been able to stay in Bayern and play, or, go to another team. But being a part of that system hindered him. Whereas Raheem Sterling, who, again, good player, a consummate professional, has played at the biggest clubs and has done well for them, has performed relatively. Honestly, didn't really perform for Chelsea unless he was playing against Man City. But Raheem Sterling benefits from these kind of systems. I think he's going to do well. I've said it already. I think he's going to do well on Arsenal. And obviously Pep made him look a lot better than he is. I don't think Raheem Sterling is a 20 goal a season kind of player. I think he's more like a Wilfried Zaha, right? Like, I think, which again, really good player. Would he be 20 goals a season if he played for a super top team? I don't know. But can he put a weaker team on his back? Is he a player who's going to be creative and go and try to go at players? Yes. So that's an interesting take. So yeah, man, that's the question of the week. Holla at me. I'm going to be back here on Friday. You know how we do. Ball around the world twice a week. Yo, Colo Lifestyle, Just Fez. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. My people on YouTube, I appreciate it. Tap in Queen on TikTok. Appreciate you giving me those likes. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The streams, we're just going to get better and better with the streams. It's just hot right now. It's hot in LA. You see me sweating. I'm surprised the stream has lasted this long because my computer is starting to overheat. So this is the time. This is the time where I'm going to say goodbye. Hopefully y'all are having a great Monday. Hopefully y'all are motivated to attack this week. That's what I'm about to do. I woke up not even wanting to do this stream, but I told myself a minute at the start of the season, I'm going to be streaming twice a week. And just bringing the joy that I feel watching and experiencing and playing football into the internet. So here I am. I appreciate y'all. Yes, bro, Colo, it is hot as hell, man. Hopefully y'all stay cool out in wherever you're at. because it's probably hot everywhere. If you're in the valley, it's probably crazy hot. If you're in Arizona, it's probably you're dying. It's whatever. Just Fez, have a great weekend, boss. Appreciate y'all, man. We will be back Friday. Come tap in. Ball Around the World, weekly, every week, Monday and Friday, somewhere between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific time. Come tap in with me. Come talk some footy shit. Have some debates. That's what we do out here. And I will holler at y'all. Whew. Get some ice. We gonna be here. It's Ball Around the World. It's Matt Marshall. I appreciate y'all.